Hello, welcome back for another video on ARK Survival Ascended. We're back on the Aberration map, and today I'm going to be showcasing 27 brand new non-DLC features that released alongside Aberration. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. And the perfect way to kick off the list is with the brand new creature, the Yiling, found within the fertile region and has probably one of the most annoying taming methods since the release of ASA that shares similar qualities to the gliding mechanics of the Rock Drake. The Rock Drake's still way better, let's be honest, but it is a cool creature nonetheless. Moving on to the new surface region weather events. Aberration is well known for its dangerous surface regions, where at night it is dark and cool, offering plenty of exploration value. However, in the daytime it is fully engulfed in fire and will instantly roast anyone and anything alive almost instantaneously. Not too kind on the eyes and looks like the planet from the movie Total Recall, but I guess you won't be exploring in this state anyway. We did see a lot of cool weather changes with Scorched Earth, most notably the incoming sandstorms and lightning storms. While on Aberration we get to experience some weather upgrades where the incoming firestorm is now visibly heading toward the planet. But hey, if you are unfortunate in witnessing this spectacle, then you're probably in a spot of bother. After slaying an alpha Karkanos, it will now drop the Aberrant Helmet skin in its death cache. So if you're a fan of this skin, it's time to hunt some alpha Karkanos. All aberrant creature variants have had a massive touch up. To be honest, I do prefer some of the ASE designs, but some of them really do look amazing and so much better. Personal favourites for me are going to have to be the Raptor and the Megalosaurus. I feel like the Megalosaurus looks way more beefy. Adding to this, the exclusive aberrant creatures have been shown some massive love. The Basilisk looks phenomenal, I must admit. Definitely a big favourite of mine. Look at the detail on those scales. I'm also loving the look of the Ravager. It kind of looks like it's got an aberrant skin, but that's just how the Ravager looks these days. In ASE they were basically just brown for the most part, so there's definitely massive improvements to the aberrant creatures we've grown to love so much. While on the subject of creature variants, we did have some new variants added to the Aberration map. We have the aberrant Phasalosuchus. No idea why this is on Aberration. I must admit it does look amazing, but why is it on Aberration, man? Up next we have the aberrant Oviraptor. It does make me wonder why it wasn't included in Aberration on ASE, which is a great addition to Aberration. And the final aberrant variant that was added was the aberrant Gigantoraptor, which still does feel a bit odd, but it definitely makes more sense than the Phasalosuchus. And here's another beauty of a creature that we never got to see in Aberration in ASE. I'm not really sure what the story was with this. I'm pretty sure the first time we saw them was in the Fjordur map, and I swear they said that they were adding them to Aberration, but I never saw the aberrant Megalania ever spawning on Aberration, so they finally spawn on Aberration in ASA, which is a great new feature. Leading us on perfectly to all the brand new wild babies wandering the world, and there has been a lot of new additions, which will definitely make taming some of these beasts a whole lot easier. I don't know about you guys, but I love the Karkanos, but I hate taming them. Also, you've got to appreciate how awesome it is that the parent carries the baby around in their pincers. Oh, it's so cute. That is if you can refer to giant crabs being cute, but now we have the option to slay the parents and claim the baby. You can't go wrong there. Speaking of which, the Karkanos can now be bred. How amazing is this? I've always wanted to be able to breed the Karkanos, so this is like a dream come true. Moving on, the Basilisk can now also be bred, which is also big in the game. The Basilisk is an absolute powerhouse. Being able to ride an imprinted one of these is going to be a force to be reckoned with. It seems Wildcard are a fan of their ghillie skins, as we now have an aberrant ghillie skin, which works the exact same way as the Scorched one. Craft yourself some basic ghillie armor, craft the aberrant skins, going into your cosmetics tab, this is where you can equip the skin to your armor. The wild aberrant raptor now has no pounce attack. I know a lot of people will be a fan of this change. I've definitely experienced some ARK rage in my time due to dying to the raptor's pounce over and over and over again. I'm not really sure. I kind of liked the danger of avoiding raptors because of this, but I do feel like it's lost some of its character without the pounce. But that's just my opinion. The many charge nodes throughout Aberration now have a new trick up their sleeves. When accessing the terminals, they can now be used as a transmitter, which when transfers open up, you'll be able to transfer in and out so much easier, which is big in the game. As Aberration in ASE was an absolute pain in the bum to transfer your character in and out, and any items and dinos that you wanted to transfer, so this is a very welcoming change. A new stone tree platform was added. Problem is, it doesn't seem to snap to any of the trees on Aberration, so I wouldn't recommend crafting one. I did test it out on other maps in the redwoods, and it does snap to the redwood trees, so hopefully this will get changed and we can utilize them in Aberration. The wooden cliff platform was finally added to the game. Before, you only had stone and metal, so it may give you a cheaper alternative to building a cliff platform. Moving on to the cliff platform changes, we now have the option to switch between small, medium and large cliff platforms. This is a really nice change. Just craft your cliff platform and when equipped, you can easily switch between the sizes. This is a great feature and offers so many more building opportunities. Not to mention, you won't need any more extra resources to craft the larger sizes. And of course, they do also snap to one another, making building a lot easier. Another nice feature added with the cliff platforms is the walls can now be snapped to the circumference of the cliff platform. This is a change we saw with the tree platforms when ASA released, so I was kind of expecting this one, but it is still a nice change nonetheless. Harvestable keratin bones were also added with Aberration. I've mostly seen a lot of them at the surface, so if you're in need of a cheeky bit of keratin, I mean, I've never needed substantial amounts of keratin, but it is still an option if you need it. As expected with new map releases comes new supply drops and a bunch of loot table changes. I will definitely be looking more in detail into these later in the week. The tech sleeping pod has made its return with Aberration, and it can now be placed upright, which is pretty cool. Reminds me of the Alien films. It is also a little bugged, as when inside snuggled up, you are dangling your legs through the front of the pod. Or if you have a character build like mine, you'll realize that most of your body is outside the pod rather than inside it. Reaper babies will now scale with the player level, which basically means the higher level that your character is, the higher the level of Reaper baby you can obtain. I did run a few tests. I was level 60 and I still got 75 plus levels on the baby from killing creatures. So I'm going to assume it has more effect on players level 105 and above, but I'm not totally sure how it works. Next up, we have the new cinematic lighting mode, which is a new option that can be used in graphics settings on PC, which apparently increases human lighting quality significantly. They have stated in the patch notes that this is a quite expensive setting to turn on. I honestly haven't really noticed much difference, but apparently it works well for cinematics and photos. I'm sure I'll definitely be playing around with it in the future. This is going to be a controversial new feature here, but I kind of have to showcase it. So it was stated in the patch notes that the Rockwell boss will now reward you with element, and it is somewhat evident in this clip. However, when you kill the boss, you get instantly teleported out of the arena, yet you can see on screen that there is a loot crate waiting for you, but you won't be able to loot it because it's teleported you out of the arena. This boss fight ending was all over the place. I even had a small glimpse of the loot crate as it teleported me back into the arena for like 3 seconds. Oh, so close. You'll also notice that you will be rewarded with some nice skins and a chibi, but in this instance I lost all my stuff and spawned in naked, so I didn't get any of that. So I wanted to put this out there. It's probably best not to run the boss until they fix this, because it's pretty broken. The Gigantoraptor received a cheeky little TLC with the Aberration release, where you can now place feathers in the male and females for whichever creatures you are breeding, giving the baby a much higher chance of taking the stats that you desire. And lastly, the Alpha Surface Reaper King can now be killed for the Reaper helmet skin. And that is going to be the end of the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hopefully it's helpful to you all, and if it was helpful, please consider liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing for more ARK content, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.